welcome back to my YouTube. So today we are at the Mason Hotel, Sunday the 30th of April, and we are recording the whole day at my live event. So today we've got all my clients here, we're meeting up, we've got a full day of inspiration, motivation, and I just thought it would be really nice to record so that we can watch back as well, and anyone that missed can see what goes on behind the scenes of this amazing community. So the girls are outside, we're gonna let them in. I'm really excited and I can't wait to see what you think of the event. The whole Fit Coach Rossi community doesn't come together with just me. It's a team working thing, and the girls have been amazing. They've stepped up when I was really sick and just been the best. And same with the girls, everyone's just so understandable all the time. And anyone that hasn't been to an event like this before, you know what it's like, you know what way you leave feeling. And thank you so much for coming. I know people have travelled, so I really, really appreciate that. Grace is sales on the team. She does all the calls, she does the back end as well, and she's part of the team too. So many people. There you go. And this is new as well. This is totally out of her comfort zone. Like she doesn't do anything like this, so it's scary getting up here in front of people when you're not used to being in front of the camera or recording and everything. So to take the mic is a big step. So well done.
I'm only new to the team, so I'm very lucky to be standing up here, like talking to all yous now. I'm like, what is going on? How is this actually happening? But basically, me and my story. So I've been training with Ciara now for like on and off 3 years. And like that, I've done my fair share of transformations. So I've started off on the Zooms. I went to the gym plan. Then I'm doing the one-to-one coaching. I done fat loss. Then I done muscle gain, photo shoot prep, like you name it, I've done it. And I think that's why even with joining the team, I felt confident doing the calls, because I have the experience of going through every single package. I know the systems, I've done it, I've been there through the highs and the lows. And so even just, I remember like when Ciara suggested to me to come on the team, she actually sent me a voice note, and it was very funny. I remember at the time I was listening to it, but my boyfriend Dean was actually training with Josh at the time as well. So at the same time when I was listening to the voice note, she was mentioning about this job opportunity, and Dean actually got a voice note off Josh at the same time, right? And we were looking at each other being like, no, they're hardly going to try and hire the two of us. Like, what is going on here? But now, unfortunately for Dean, it was just a check-in. Whereas for me, it ended up being a job opportunity. And that was 6 months ago, and now here I am, like standing up here talking to all of you. So it's just been crazy. And I think like a lot of you will know as well, like from training with Ciara and with Jade, like they see your potential from the very beginning. Do you know what I mean? And they always kind of push you to do things that you could never have thought you'd been able to do. And I think I'm a prime example of that. Like this is so out of my comfort zone. Like I'm a social care worker, so like nothing to do with fitness. This is something that I've never thought I'd be able to do. And Ciara said to me from early on, I think you have something. And I was like, no, don't know what you're talking about. So even for me now, like being that person that's doing the consultation calls with the new girls, and like me being able to settle anyone's nerves when they're coming in and they want to start on their fitness journey, it's just really nice to know that I can be that person to help settle their nerves and kind of help people take that first step. So yeah, that's pretty much me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Jade is up next. Everyone knows Jade.
Woo!
Hello. And the same thing as well. Jade has been amazing. She has stepped up to a different level since even the last event and in the last 2 years of working together. And this is a huge, huge deal as well for Jade to be up here chatting as well. So I'll let Jade take the reins and then...
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Hello. And breathe. Can everyone hear me? Yeah? So good morning, everybody. So of course, I know the 99.9% of people in the room, but for anybody that I don't know, hello, and I'm Jade. I'm the head coach at the team. So a little bit about my background. We're not going to go too far down. But a couple of years ago, 2016, I was just this little girl, had literally like no direction. And I know when you're young, like who has direction when you're young, and you don't even know when your direction is going to start when you get into your 20s. But when I was young, I just remember how lost that I was, and I was lost in myself, and I'm still discovering myself at the minute. Even though I help so many of you, I am still on my own journey, and I am still discovering who I am. But yeah, so anyway, we're in school, and I'm just this little awkward, shy girl, won't talk to anybody. I'm overweight, I need help, I don't know what to do. And one of my old friends, sent me Ciara's profile on Instagram and says, "This is Ciara Rossi." And I seen her and I was like, I'm going down. Didn't know where she was, but I found her anyways. Showed up at her door, was terrified to talk to her, but I absolutely idolised her. And I think any one of Ciara's clients who've came through the door, she's like the little big sister that we all needed, you know? We all needed her, and she literally saved my life. And you know, I'm from an area where not a lot of good things happen, and not to lean on that, but it is true. And I'm so proud of where I am, and I'm so proud to be a part of this and to be a part of you and your journey. And it's just every day is incredible, you know, and it is super emotional, and we have so many good times, we have so many low times, and you know, but it's incredible. So yeah, I'm so grateful to be even saying this morning. But yeah, I think in terms of where we're at, I'm super proud of you, and I'm so grateful that I get to stand here and say this. So I just want you all to have an amazing morning, and yeah, thanks so much for letting me be a part of your journey as well, girls. It's incredible. So thank you.
This is Lauren a couple of weeks ago. She's actually gone into her first ever photo shoot prep. And she has honestly sailed it. Like every single week she takes things off. But before she started with me, I remember her getting onto her first call, and there was just tears, and she was just so upset. She was like, I train Ciara, she's a GA player?
Yeah.
GA player. She's actually heading towards the Dublin team now with her fitness. She's like one of the strongest on the team out of 97 people. Her strength is insane. People are like, what the hell? She gets like all the max deadlifts, everything. She's a sicko. Like, I'm like, Lauren, come on. And it takes for someone like me or your coach or someone to believe in you, to say, like, you can do that. And she's like, oh no, like, no. Like, we done the testimonials back in November, and she was like, I can't, like, I actually can't do this. And even for pictures, she was like standing at the back, and I was like, Lauren, come on. And it's just over the last couple of months of building up her confidence and that little bit of reassurance to say, Lauren, like, anyone can do it. Do you know what I mean? It's not just about people that are doing photo shoot preps. You'll see Emma's journey as well after this. But Lauren, if you want to kind of come up here, and then I can hand you over the mic. So just before we touch on it, she wanted to basically get back into a routine with football. And as we get older as well, you can kind of fall out of love with the sport that you're doing. Like any of us that do dancing, anyone that does like camogie, anything like that, you're kind of like, right, okay, what do I do next? Because you're so used to having that routine of football or dancing. And then when it's done, you're like, oh God, like, what do I do now? So finding something that you love and that brings you happiness every day is so important. And the training and the football and staying as active as she can and building up strength was what Lauren wanted to do. And that was from her, not me, to say, like, anytime we get on for a call, it's the client saying to me what they want to do. There's no point in me saying, I think you should do this. Yes, you can say your potential could be here, but what do you want to do? You know, like, how do you want to feel? She wanted to build up her confidence. As I said, she was pretty shy on the first call, and even in general, and up here now today, as I said, is huge. And she's now prepping for a shoot that she has never done before. So let's just give a little background into your journey, why you started, where you kind of are now, and just to give other girls a little bit of inspiration and inspo.
Yeah. Thank you.
There you go.
Oh, God, all right, I'll stay here with you. So I contacted Ciara basically back in August,
I had done the online transformations with her before and was taking a bit of a break from it. But last year then was a bit of a roller coaster. I was going through a breakup and a really tough time. And then while I was going through my breakup, I fractured my elbow while I was playing a match. And so that was kind of sport, and the gym was kind of my outlet. But obviously, fracturing my elbow, I wasn't able to do either of those things. So I was kind of cooped up in the house, just with my thoughts, and everything kind of was on a decline. So when I first reached back out to Ciara, I was like, I'm not doing this for my physical health whatsoever. It is purely for my mental health. I was crying down the phone to her. And so we were like, right, we'll put a plan in place and we will, work towards getting the mental health back on track. So eventually got back playing sport, thankfully, and was back in a routine in the gym. And, food was upped, which was needed because the appetite did go out the window when I was going through a breakup. So that was, I think, one of the big things was getting the food back on track. So we had been working for a good couple of months, and Ciara then kind of threw out the idea of a shoot to me, and I was like, no chance, didn't even consider it. I was like, why would I be doing a photo shoot? Not a hope in hell. So we kind of kept working away in the gym, and I was still training, and I was definitely by far one of the fittest on the pitch, which not like me ever. So when it came to January then, which is pre-season in football, I easily was flying. I was in front of everyone doing all the runs and everything, and I felt fantastic. I was texting Ciara being like, oh my God, I can't believe how fit I am, how strong I am compared to everyone else. Jumped on another call and Ciara suggested a shoot again. I was like, no, why? And we got off the call and the seed was planted then. I was like, why not? But at the same time, I was like, why would I be doing a shoot? So I'd say another call later, and she threw it out again, and I was like, if I get off this call, I'm going to be saying, why didn't I just say yeah? So I was like, right, go on, just put me down, we'll just do it. So here we are now, 3 weeks out from my first shoot, and as Ciara said, I'm now working towards being on the Dublin development squad, which then leads to a progression to hopefully playing county level football. So it's definitely all the cardio and all the strength work has paid off, and hopefully now I will be feeling and looking amazing now in 3 weeks' time when it comes to the shoot. So I couldn't thank Ciara enough. And yeah, I think that's everything.
Thank you. Next up, for the second transformation, we have Emma. Emma is one of my one-to-one clients. I remember saying to Emma, like, you're going to inspire so many other people that are saying, okay, I'd love to lose, I want to start, and she looks bloody amazing, like she does.
It's weird standing up here.
So just a little bit, she wanted to obviously live a happier, healthier lifestyle. She was totally going around in circles all the time, and she always felt like she could do a good 4 to 6 weeks, lose what she could, and then she'd end up back at square one. And this was the same cycle all the time. And when she started with the one-to-one, I said to her on the call, I was like, this isn't going to be 8 weeks, this isn't going to be 4 weeks, like this has to be long term, like you have to stay at this consistent. So let's give her a round of applause.
Yeah, I honestly don't really know, but
Scooch in.
I'm definitely going to ramble, so if I do, someone just give me a nudge, please. But yeah, when I was following Ciara, and I seen a few people from my area that I followed that kind of posted their transformations, and I was just like, sure, look, what's the worst that can happen? And I kind of just wanted to invest in myself, like mentally, physically. And I think at that point I'd convinced myself that I couldn't lose weight, like it just wasn't for me. This is just who I am. And then with Ciara, I don't know, it was just kind of someone saying like, believe in that, no, you can, like you're definitely able. And yeah, I don't know, it was just, I don't even know. Brain
It's a blur.
But yeah, I think it was just having someone to be accountable for, like the check-ins like every week. I think I just kind of tried everything, and I was just like, I need someone to basically just tell me what I need to do, because I feel like there's so much information out there, which is great, but to me I was just overwhelmed with everything, and I think I tried to do too much too soon. I like restrict myself completely. I do like an hours of cardio, no, like cut out everything, so I think it was just learning to like have a better like healthy relationship with food, and I just think this time around it was just having Ciara to check in with every week, even if it didn't go to plan. She'd just give you that bit of motivation on a Sunday to be like, look, reset, tomorrow's a new day. And like, I don't think anyone ever says, oh, I regret like investing into my fitness. And like physically you just feel better. Yeah, and then just mentally it just does wonders. Like, you'll never say, oh, I regret going gym today, or God, why did I go on that walk? I feel 10 times worse.
Yeah, that never happens.
No. But yeah, I just think that accountability. So if you're not signed up with Ciara, sign up.
And just another thing as well, what about, just give a little bit of an insight into what your routine was like before you started to what it's like now, and the way your day goes.
Yeah, so like this year I'm doing an internship, but I used to get like 2 or 3 buses to the job just because the thought to walk, and I was like, no, not for me, not at that time in the morning.
Not for me.
I'd buy lunch like every day, spend a fortune. Food was definitely like a comfort for me. If I had a bad day or someone annoyed me, I'd be like, I'm gonna get a Chinese now, it's your fault, you've annoyed me. I need to feel better. Yeah, I was just so lazy, and then like I was just very like moody, cranky, real like negative, and I just kind of blamed other people, like it's their fault that I'm not accepted in this society, sort of thing. Like I never really like took my own accountability. Where now it's like I do that 20-minute walk to work. On my hour break, I just get out for a bit of fresh air, just to like clear the head, walk home. Just that meal prep on a Sunday does wonders. Like if you set yourself up for the week, it's like, I've wasted this money, I've cooked this food, and might as well eat it out, do you know what I mean? Like might as well. So yeah, like it's just, yeah, just them little things make a big difference. And I think start small and build up. Like I think my first week, Ciara said just do, I think 5,000 or 6,000 steps. Yeah. Start off small. My food was still quite high, and I was like, sis, I'm trying to lose weight here. Like, you know what I mean? And she was like, no, we're gonna take it like week by week, slowly but surely. And now here we are, like gym like 5 days a week, and I'm like, can I have a day off? No, but anyway. So yeah, it's just like slowly but surely, and just take it week by week, and don't beat yourself up. It's never going to be smooth sailing, but then it makes the rewards even better because it's not smooth sailing. So yeah, just yous are all doing great.
Well done. Really good. Thank you. Well done. Thank you so much for being here. This is Fionnuala. She is a genius with female wellbeing. If anyone doesn't follow her on Instagram, I have got her tagged. I'll put it up again. Really, really helpful, knowledgeable with the female body. So I'm excited for you girls to hear, and I'm excited as well to see what you're going to speak about. But we'll get straight in, and as I said, if you want to open your bars now so there's not like crackling and everything, go ahead, and then you've got your cans and your water. But thank you, let's give it a round of applause. And I will take this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ciara, for the lovely intro. Is that working properly?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so as Ciara very kindly said, my name is Fionnuala. So I am a medical doctor, and I suppose I specialise in functional medicine. In terms of stress management, obviously, the great yoga meditation, anyone do either of those? Yeah, and look, like, it's not the easiest thing to start off with. Like, you know, I can't say for me it was ever easy to go do yoga meditation. In fact, it used to be, couldn't bear the thought of having to do it. Sit there, oh God, couldn't cope. But it is one of those things that you have to do regularly, no more than any other type of exercise, in order to derive the benefits. Like, there's plenty of apps out there. I'm sure, like I said, a lot of you have risen the hands there to say that you've already doing some. But again, I think that's probably going to have a huge impact on stress management. But the most important thing there is, remember, oftentimes we do these stress management tools when we're not under pressure. And then when we do start to have stress, that's when we neglect the tools. So it's important to be mindful of the role of it while we're in the middle of the stress, not just when everything's well. And the same thing goes in reverse. So sometimes people, I'm really wired up to my eyeballs. Now is the time to do the meditation. You also need to be doing it in the outside of that stress window as well to be able to engage in it fully and get the benefits from it. Cold water exposure is another favourite stress management tool of mine. Anyone do it? No? Cold showers? Like, look, it seems like often people are like, how is cold water a stress management tool? Like, that sounds so stressful to me. I suppose, like, what it is you're given a slight acute stress, but the more long-term reaction after the stress has passed from the cold water exposure is more calming. Have anyone ever done sea swimming? Oh, it's the most calming experience of all time, isn't it? Like, initially, yeah, it feels like you're going to die in the water, it's so cold. But when you get out, you just feel so calm and blissful, isn't that right? So again, that's another nice tool. Walking, always underestimated. I'm sure you're all tracking your steps for Ciara, but it's a great stress management tool. Definitely one that I like to use. And again, as I said earlier, the role of psychotherapy, especially if there's a history of trauma.
Okay, so we're going to go into breaking beliefs and a comparison game, all right? So this is kind of a little bit of a self-reflection. Want you to question yourself. It's not about what anyone else is writing beside you. It's about you and what you think maybe I need to change, or what do you think I can help with, all right? So pens out if you want to open up on your first page. You've got a little notebook there. We all have these limiting beliefs about ourselves and what's realistic to achieve. So you see the transformations, and some people think straight away, I definitely wouldn't be able to do that, or Jesus, that takes ages, or wouldn't be me. But I'm sure you've seen, definitely can be you. Everyone in here has some sort of transformation or result along the way as well. So it's about kind of looking outside the box and saying, right, okay, well, if I got to here, what can I do next? And not just limiting yourself to that small kind of thought process that goes through your head that we all think isn't achievable. All right, so we all have these limiting beliefs about ourselves, and what's realistic? The answer is anything. The only person that holds yourself back is you, no one else. So whatever you're thinking in your head, no one else knows. All right, you don't know what I'm thinking right now. No one knows what I'm thinking. I don't know what you're thinking. So it's about creating that in your head and not putting yourself down and saying, definitely wouldn't be able to do that. No, that's not for me. Oh my God, I'd be mortified doing that. I haven't got the confidence, because you have. Everyone has. Like, I used to be the person that I would never have stood up here. I would have been rambling on. I wouldn't have even known where to start. And today it just feels so comfortable, and it's just from practice and believing in myself and knowing, okay, right, well, if everyone in here can come together, chatting and being in a room for this Fit Coach Rossi community, that I know anything is possible, all right? Because I never would have imagined anything like this from where I started in a tiny gym in Kilbarrack. If anyone was there at those classes, I had like 6 people at a class in like a dungeon gym where you actually go down the back and be like, is this a gym? Or is this okay? Like, is this all right? Like, and that's where I started. And then obviously with the classes in the studio, to online with like over 300 clients, which is amazing. And as I said as well, it's not just me. This is a teamwork thing. There's a whole group of us that come together and make it work as well. So 3 reasons. Does anyone want to share one of their reasons? So why do you feel like you've been going around in circles? Anyone? Yeah.
Self-doubt, doubting yourself constantly.
There you go. Self-doubt, doubting yourself, like, I can't do this, or anything else?
I just said self-doubt, lack of consistency, and excuses.
And so self-doubt, a lack of consistency, and consistency is everything, and excuses. Okay, anyone else? Comparison. So we're all online, right? We're all living in this virtual world. We're looking at who's doing better. They look great. They've got this amount of followers. That means nothing. It's about what you're doing. Like, you're sitting on a table. Oh, like, if you're questioning yourself sitting in a room like this today, you really need to kind of flip the switch now. But that's definitely a big one that everyone does, and it just happens naturally. Like, I do it as well. Compare yourself to other people, and then you just kind of have to snap yourself back and say, okay, right, why am I doing that? List of excuses that basically everyone said here now. So I haven't got enough hours in the day. Hands up. Yeah. So we've 24 hours. I'm not going to say, oh my God, look at me, because that's not what I'm going to say. But I'm running 2 businesses. We work with over 300 clients. I train. I'm flat out 24/7. Got 2 girls over here as well that are on the team. But there is time in the day. Like, how much time do you spend scrolling through your phone? Do you ever think that you're on TikTok, forget about it? Oh my God, I don't even use it, and I'm just like, what? I'm on this like a half an hour. Or even before bed, you're like, right, or coming home from work, for example, you've got an hour and it's like, well, I'm actually wrecked after today. Instead of going out and getting a bit of daylight exposure, like what Fionnuala was saying, I'm actually just going to chill out because I'm exhausted. Sometimes you do be exhausted, but everyone knows how good do you feel when you get a bit of movement in? Yeah? I'm so tired all the time and I haven't got the energy to do anything. Hands up. Yeah. Then no motivation to get going. Yeah? Money can be one as well, and that's totally different, that's totally dependent, but what we spend our money on, takeaways, food, basically drink. You go out on a night out, you might get an outfit, you might get the taxi in, back, drink, and 200, 300 euro is gone, and you're like, what? How did I spend that? And then the night's over and you hate yourself come Monday. So like thinking of your choices, yeah, you're on a drinking ban. And I've got birthday parties, events coming up, and I'll wait until they're over. And when someone signs up for their first consultation call and they're like, I'll start after this, I'm like, red flag. I'm like, no. I'm like, I can't. So you have to start. Why not start and implement that in as you go? And it's like, oh, well, you see, like if I know I've got that on that weekend, it will just be a write-off and it's a waste of a week when it's not. It's like every girl here that trains with us knows that you can still have something over the weekend and enjoy yourself and make progress. Yeah, I'm sure everyone can say that. Yeah. And then what's the point attitude? So the list goes on. Now I want you to write down 3 that aren't on the board. 3 excuses that you've made for yourself over the years, constantly. So write them down. And be honest, like what is it that's stopping you all the time?
I wrote when Rebecca's not going, so Rebecca's my best friend that also is here. I wrote when Rebecca's not going, which is I won't go. I won't go if Rebecca's not going, but a busy gym.
Yeah.
The idea of going to the gym at 6 o'clock, throwing off completely, I'd actually rather not go.
Yeah.
So I'll make up at 6 a.m.
So, well, what do you want? Would you rather be exhausted, driving home from work, stuck in traffic, and then go, for God's sake, I should have just went this morning? Yeah? And then you can get to bed earlier when you're going to the gym in the evenings. Sometimes that has to happen for some people because of the way they work and stuff, and some gyms don't actually open until 7 and stuff. But if you're using that as an excuse, and when you get to a gym and it is busy, like, what can you go on when all the machines are taken? You know, and then you're waiting and you're in the gym for 2 hours and then you're like, I've got cardio done. Do you know what? I'll leave that till tomorrow. Or I'll add a sneaky 10 minutes on tomorrow. Or I'll make up those minutes outside, and then it never happens. So it's tiny little things like that. Anyone else?
Rewarding yourself kind of, so saying like, oh, I worked really hard yesterday, so I'll take a chill out today.
Yeah, and not when you're on prep. Yeah, so rewarding yourself. So who else feels like that? Done a really good workout, I can go home and just enjoy a bit of food now. I've burnt that off. Hands up. Yeah. So rewarding yourself when you don't need to be rewarding yourself like that. You should be enjoying that. Like working out shouldn't be a punishment. It should be enjoyment.
I blame the weather and everything.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's too cold, I can't do it. Oh, it's too hot.
I get the weather blamed on me here. I'm not even in the country. They're like, Ciara, you don't understand. I'm like, okay. They're like, it's raining all week, that's why I haven't got my steps down. No, you're in Dubai. And it's like, not like that. And I'm like, well, like, you know, actually it's very, very hot there to even walk. It's probably more uncomfortable than going out and sticking your hood up. Or if you don't like walking outside, get on the treadmill after your session and just finish out your steps and finish the day. It's tiny little things like that. So I want you to write down, last thing, 4 to 5 things. So write down 4 to 5 things on how to break these habits that you've wrote down. So the ones that you've got on your page, write down how you're going to break them yourself, because I can't say do this. I can give you help and guide you, but you have to kind of say, right, okay, what am I doing this? Why am I doing this all the time? So they're just examples. So one's like stop spending money on shite and takeaways all the time, because that does add up. You could probably get a takeaway for 2 of yous for your weekly shop in Aldi. Get your food shop in, prep your meal so you're not spending money on lunch every day, like what Emma was saying. And sometimes you get sick of spending money on lunch and being like, what'll I get? And it doesn't fulfill most of us. So if you prep it and bring it in, it's like, right, okay, I'll have this now. Anyone want to share 4 to 5 things?
I just think, like,
joining back a hobby that you used
Yeah.
to enjoy doing that you don't anymore? Because I feel like you get to a certain age and all them hobbies stop because it's like, well, you can only dance up to this age or whatever.
Yep.
But go back and join something because there's always something in your community or somewhere further out that you can join back and do something like that.
Yeah, so joining a hobby is what Amy said there, like do something that you actually enjoy. Like if you don't like your program or if you don't like the gym or whatever you're doing, you're not going to enjoy it. You're just going to dread it every single time and just say, I have to do it because this is what you have to do to lose, or this is what you have to do to change your body. Like you can't do different types of things. Yeah. So does anyone else feel like that? Yeah. So she said she feels like if she's going away on a holiday or when she comes back or she's got an event, she treats herself then for the whole month, and it's just a domino effect of I'll start back, say next month or whatever. Yeah, and I'll start again, I'm only back and I need to just take a little bit of time off, and realistically you don't. Yeah, so it's just being consistent and just getting back in.
December off.
Take a December off, or take a November, December, or October, November, December, because it's winter. It's like, it's winter, like I haven't got a holiday coming up until June next year. It's like, are we doing this just for a holiday? No. I just want to say that I hope everyone took something from today. We have got food and a buffet down the back. There's fruit, there's eggs, all of that. But first of all, I just want to say a massive thank you for everything. All you girls are the most supportive people ever, genuinely. It makes me emotional that like people come here that aren't clients. I really appreciate that. And all the girls that are together and how everyone just communicates and networks. And I really hope that you leave today knowing that it's possible, seeing the girls' results, taking education from it too. But a big thank you to the girls as well, to my mum. My nanny is actually here. She surprised me too. But can we just take 2 minutes? Nanny, do you want to come up? No. Right. Well, I just want to say, like, my nanny, she surprised us in here and she's 90. I have to give her a big hug. But I can't cope. Look how cute she is. But, no, Nanny, show them. Stand up for a minute. Yeah, just for a minute. So, this is my nanny. If I could be the person that she is and how she is, she still drives, she does everything, and she's 90. And if that comes back, girls, to your fitness and your health. She's done triathlon, she ran, she walked for miles up until only a few years ago, and your health is everything. And I just can't believe that you're here. Owen brought you as a surprise. Yeah. But girls, thank you so much for today, and I really appreciate everyone coming. I want you to enjoy some food. We actually have, of course, we're all about the balance, but we have a cupcake as well for everyone for after that you can enjoy. But honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I know, thank you. Honestly, I'm a bit emotional, I'm not gonna lie. But thank you so much. So enjoy, girls. Grab some food. So we've just finished an amazing day. We've cleared out the room and the energy was insane. I genuinely can't even remember the last 4 hours, so I'm so excited to watch this video back. This is the end of the YouTube. We had, honestly, it was the best day ever. My nanny actually arrived at the end and surprised me and had me so emotional. But it's just so amazing to see such a strong network of girls coming together, and everyone was chatting, and you'll see, I'm sure you watched this video and I'm sure you said, wow, that looks powerful, and that was exactly what it was, and that's what we're all about at Fit Coach Rossi. And if you do want any more information, you can click the link below to apply for any of our coaching services or book in for a call. But as always, from the bottom of my heart, and to anyone that follows me, supports me, likes my posts, comments, to my clients that all travelled from outside Dublin even, I really just want to say a massive thank you. Fit Coach Rossi wouldn't be where it is today without my inspiring girls and the community that we have. So a massive thank you, and amazing thank you to my team as well. I would be nothing without you guys as well. So thank you, and I really hope that you enjoyed this YouTube, and hopefully I will see you on the next event.